So today's video is very much influenced by a number of lessons I've given lately face to face, and it's about how we can put less effort into our golf swing to hit the ball further. And when I get golfers doing this face to face, it is amazing the difference in the flight, the difference in the distance, but the feedback as to how simple it feels. I'm not promising easy, but how simple it feels to get that extra distance without trying to knock the cover off the golf ball. So like I said, this video very influenced by a number of pupils I've had lately, and the shot I'm about to hit would be a typical one that I would see with a lot of golfers. So most golfers, in my opinion, set up well enough to hit good golf shots, but I see a lot of this in the golf swing. You can see a very high, soft flight. I mean, actually, pretty decent club head speed there at 85 mile an hour, but ball speed at only 88 mile an hour. Low point behind the golf ball. The ball launching at 27 degrees and only carrying 109 yards. And I think what I see when golfers are hitting the ball like that is they almost know that the golf ball should be going much further with a 7-iron. So what they end up doing is almost swinging harder and harder. Occasionally they strike one even better, but we can see it again just ballooning up in the air. Nearly 89 mile an hour club head speed this time, ball speed at 100. Definitely caught the ground a little first, launching at 30 degrees and still only carrying 125. So what's really noticeable when I see golfers doing that is, one, that they don't control the low point of their golf swing to get the ball ahead of the golf ball, but also they seem to add a huge amount of loft. And what you'll see with the best players in the world is that at impact, they're getting their low point ahead of the golf ball and they're de-lofting the golf club. So first of all, what's causing that issue? And I think a lot of it is, it's definitely on the way down, but for a lot of people, it's actually starting in the takeaway. So if you look down the golf swing, certainly as we're in the downswing, what you will see with a lot of golfers is that club face is looking up to the sky. That means it's very open. So they have to work across the golf ball, can't really transfer the weight, and they really struggle. And a lot of golfers will do that initially from really kind of fanning that club open to begin with, but even the golfers that don't, they'll get to the top, pull the club down and get that club in all kinds of poor positions. Now, like I said, the problem with that club face being wide open is if you were to get some forward shaft lean, that club face is pointing way out to the right, and if I were to demonstrate it, we'd probably say goodbye to Mr. Camera. So there's a couple of ways you can improve it, and what I would say is, as you take the club away, if you are somebody that lets the club rotate a little bit, you can still do that, but you need to feel on the way down that you get that glove logo more down to the ground and more knuckles down. Or you can actually do it in the takeaway, feel that you keep the club looking more towards the ball, keep the knuckles down, and then it's possibly easier to maintain. So I'm going to do it, for me personally, I like to feel it a little bit more in my backswing. I know that if I let the club open up, I've got to have a lot of rotation with the club face through the bottom. And even though my strike's good, I tend to find I shape the ball more and more. So what we tend to work on with a lot of golfers is anyone that struggles with that. Initially, we'll say, right, let's take away the full swing. And actually, let's just feel that we almost get the hands back to about waist height. And with that club face nice and strong, that good lead wrist flattened off. And then from there, we can move onto that left side, hit the shot, and we can see if that left wrist is flatter, how that shaft lean is going to be forward. So initially, we'll just do a couple of little practice swings, feeling that club face stays looking at the golf ball. And most golfers initially will say it feels very different through impact area. So we'll hit a couple of shots, see how that feels. So a very different trajectory, much flatter. We see the low point move 5.5 inches ahead of the golf ball. See the club speed down at 77 mile an hour, but ball speed already at 101 and carry at 134. So the ball launching much lower because of less loft. And the key for this is, as you produce less loft with the iron, whatever energy you're putting into the golf swing, more energy gets transferred from club head to golf ball when there's less loft. Now, I would agree, when we're doing the little swing, potentially, it might launch a little bit lower than would be perfect. But while this is an exaggerated feeling, that is absolutely what you want if you're somebody who's normally hitting the ball like that. I mean, the really good one we hit when we added loft was 30-degree launch angle, so almost half the launch angle there. So again, we're going to do a little waist height swing, keep that glove looking more down towards the ground, little half swing, get that feel. And instantly the comment for guys is just how little effort there feels in the golf swing to suddenly get the ball landing 134 yards, when normally they feel they're swinging out their boots to get maybe within 10 yards of that if they are lucky. So once we feel we've got a little bit more awareness as to what that club face is doing on the way back, if you are, like I said, somebody who lets it just rotate a little, you just got to work extra hard to get those knuckles down. But all the good players in the world, you will see more of that. Definitely won't see any of that at impact. So once we've done a couple of half swings, we're going to put a little bit more length back into the swing. And it's not necessarily about swinging back as far as you have done historically. It's seeing which length backswing for now gives you the best strike, the best control, and the best distance. And then if you need to work on a little bit more length of backswing, you can do over time. So I'm going to feel a bit more 3/4 length backswing now. So probably didn't maintain that quite as well. But we can see 85 mile an hour, 2.6 inches ahead, 17-degree launch angle, which is still great, and 145-yard carry. Now, my 7-iron is a little bit more traditional on loft than a lot of 7-irons. So I know a lot of guys worry that as they get into the longer irons, does this movement become detrimental? Potentially. But what I would say is if you've got a 3 and a 4-iron in your bag, and the only way you're getting it in the air is doing that and turning it into a 6-iron or a 7-iron, I think with better impact, getting that low point ahead, the 3 and 4-iron shouldn't be in your golf bag. So let's go one more 3/4 swing, keeping those knuckles down, club face much stronger on the way back. And we can see much flatter trajectory. Again, nearly 85 mile an hour club head speed, ball speed at just over 106, low point 2 inches ahead and 17-degree launch. And all of a sudden, golfers will make that comment as to, it just feels like I'm putting nothing into that. And I think, you know, for me personally, and I think the comments that I hear on my channel, is golfers love that feeling of effortless power in the golf swing. Well, if you're compressing the golf ball and de-lofting the club, that gives you the best opportunity. So now let's work more into a full swing for me. And again, even though it doesn't feel a huge amount of effort, a little bit more club head speed, more ball speed, low point 3.1 inches ahead, so that club moving down 3.4 degrees, and at 157, roundabout my optimum carry for 7-iron. But certainly if I go back to that first movement, you can see it's just such a different golf shot. Feels like I'm working really hard. Actually was quicker with my club head speed, ball speed miles behind, and only 132 yards carry. So if you can start learning about controlling that club face a little bit more, if it is in the backswing, great, but certainly in that downswing and feeling that you're getting more here at impact, you can get that weight into that left side, the body can start turning out the way, and it really does become an incredibly simple movement to put less effort into your irons and hit the ball, even with a bit of a thin one there, to start getting the ball out a decent distance. So like I said, guys, it's not always about trying to hit the ball hard. And I have spoken in other videos about this, that for me, the best golf swings are the ones where the golfer's really focused on making the best movement they can. Now, if you can make a good movement that makes the ball go the desired distance, well, then you're not trying to hit that golf ball hard. And in my opinion, most golfers make pretty decent looking practice swings and would say their practice swings actually feel very good. But because they don't focus on the swing in the shot, they're trying to get the ball a particular distance or make it go straight or hit it harder. That's when the swing deteriorates. So if you've got something to focus on, like I have there, controlling that club face a bit better, just hands a little more active at the bottom than I would like, but decent club head speed, good low point control, love that launch angle, and at 155, that's pretty much on the money for me. And like I said, this video has very much been based around a number of pupils I've seen lately that I've had some great results with. And I think if I'm seeing that many people face to face, this undoubtedly is something that'll help a lot of you guys out there. So hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that hopefully will help you with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.